hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another craft catch up. So I'm sorry if I do have the dogs disturbing me while we do this craft catch up. Buddy's in the bed, Charlie is right behind me there by the plant pot. Me and Buddy have been at a little bit of a stalemate over the past couple days, so I bought them a new dog bed. Their old dog bed was just so flat, all the stuffing in it was really flat down. They had that specific bed since we got them when they were pups. They do have other beds, but they're like in other rooms of the house, so like in the extension they have a little bed in there, but that's quite small and it is a bit of a tight fit for both of them. They have a bed in their crate for which is in the kitchen / dining room, so when we're sat there they'll go and sit in there. But yeah, the one in the living room, which is the one they use the most, was just completely flat and terrible. So I decided to get them a new bed, and Buddy's been determined he was not gonna use the new bed. He was determined the old one was gonna still be good enough for him, so he's finally in it. He's been driving me insane with it. The family group chat has just been a constant about pictures of me and Buddy at war over the bed. Oh, things we get up to, hey. But yeah, anyway, welcome back to another craft and chat. Craft catch up. So I don't know when this video is going to go up. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Saturday. I am currently waiting for a new power lead for my laptop. My one's broke, and yeah, so I've ordered one on Amazon. So yeah, fingers crossed it gets here on Saturday and I can edit this video and upload it. I do have a computer and a laptop, but my editing software is on my laptop. So yeah, fingers crossed it's all okay and we can get on to it pretty soonish and get this video up and it's not too delayed. Right, so I have my notes on my phone, so if I'm looking down, that is what I'm looking at, sorry. So I have 2 finished objects since the last time I did a craft catch up. Both are pairs of socks, but I'm only going to show you one today, and that is because the other one does have some cabling on it, and so I really need sock blockers to show you them, and my sock blockers snapped, so I've ordered some online. So yeah, it's whenever they come. I've ordered from a small business in the UK, so they're wooden ones, so not plastic ones like my previous ones. But the second pair of socks, yes, they're patterned, but not to the extent where it's hard to see without a sock blocker. So here they are. Don't know whether you can tell, there's just a bit of sole patterning along the foot, and yeah, I think it only goes up half. I edited the pattern a bit. They are the library socks by the kitchen shop, I believe. I used 2.5mm needles and Rico Design Superb Air Las Vegas, which I got when it was on sale at Black Sheep Wools in Warrington. So yeah, I think they're really pretty. They are not matchy. They are sisters, not twins, but as you can see, the colour variation is not far off on the stripes. I had started knitting some socks with these last year, but I had lost what pattern I was using, and so yeah, I just ripped on it because I didn't know what pattern I was using, and so I just thought, let's start again. So yeah, as I said, I changed this pattern up slightly. So I did them as toe up rather than cuff down, because I read the pattern and I thought, okay, it's going to look pretty similar. It won't, doing it the opposite way wouldn't change the pattern, to say. And I did the shadow wrap heel instead of, I can't remember what type of heel it called for, but I did the shadow wrap heel because that's the heel that I do prefer on my socks. So other than the socks I will show you in the next one, these are my only finished object. Well, I've got parts of like projects that I've done for a while, and they're going to be long-term whips, so I've got to do little bits at a time, but it'll make sense when I get up to them. But yeah, these I was going to enter into the February prompt for Denise Adair Designs. Year of the sock, the colour, the prompt was violet, and obviously these are very purpley. It was violet as in the flower, but as long as you can tie it to the prompt somehow, and these were violet socks, like the colour's violet that's used in it. So that was how I was going to connect them in. However, didn't get them finished in time. I'm hoping I'll get the March ones finished in time. But yeah, as I said, that's my only finished object. So now on to whips. So again, carrying on with the sock theme. The prompt for March was daffodil. So I am just using yellow yarn to connect it up to the prompt, because you know daffodils are yellow, and I'm trying to get it so the yarn's not caught everywhere. I'm doing 2 at a time, and I'm doing them on magic loop. I've started these ones cuff. These are cuffed down like the pattern, because the pattern is designed that way. These are going to be the front, and as you can see there's a lovely bit of detail patterning. They will be the back, so there's still some type of patterning on the back, but it is not as heavy as on the front, so it's nice being able to switch round and get them done. But yeah, it does mean that you're practically not getting any rest rows doing this, because if you're not doing the pattern on the front, you're doing some sort of pattern on the back. Again, the pattern on the back is quite mindless, so I don't mind. I'm not having to concentrate on what I'm doing with the back, but yeah, it does mean that you're not taking a break really. So again, I'm using 2.5mm needles on this. I did the German twisted cast on, is it? But like, I mean, look how stretchy that cast on is. I've never actually done a cast on like that. First time I was running out of yarn. That's how much I had left over, because you have to, you know, you've got to get out piece of yarn, and then you're going back along what you're casting on with. It's not, you know, you start and just cast on down in towards the ball. But the second time I was a bit better. That's how much I had left, so I did a lot better on the second one. The socks I'm doing are the Benedict socks by Twin Set and Pearl. So there's 2 ebooks that are set along the Bridgerton series, and I believe this is season 2 the Benedict socks are in. I bought that ebook. I've not bought the season 1 ebook yet, but yeah, I'm using 25mm needles, and I am working with Drop Snored in shade 81, but it's this gorgeous mustardy colour. It is really pretty, and I am loving how the socks are coming out. As I said, it is just, I've got to focus on the pattern on the front row. On the back it's fine, I'm not having to look, which is not too bad, but yeah, on the front I'm having to look at a pattern, and that is a paid for pattern. The library socks, which were my FO, they're free pattern, and although they are patterned, that one was mindless. You don't really have to think about them when you're doing them, so that is actually really fun. If you just want to add a bit of detail to some socks, you don't want to do plain vanilla socks, but you still want quite, like, you know, what I call TV knitting socks. It's perfect for that. So my next whip is something that I feel like I'm working on forever. I'm nearly at the end of the sleeve, and these are jumpers for my niece, so I'm doing 2 jumpers, they're the same. So this is what I've got. I love how the rainbows are coming up. And then I've only got a few rows done on the second, but I've got to finish this first one off. I'm nearly done. And okay, yeah, it looks like I've got a lot of ends to weave in, but I've actually been weaving them in as I go. So if you have a look, they're not right at the end. So I've been weaving them in as I go. So for the most part, all I'm going to do is just snip them off. So that should be quite easy. And this is from the Sayadar Kids Brights book. Yeah, these are just, I'm making it with just acrylic yarn, and it's a DK weight, and because it's knitting, it's not too thick, and we live in the UK here, so you know, we can get rain all day long, you know. I mean all year long. It's the British weather is weird. We had a few inches of snow, which is shock horror. We don't get a few inches of snow even in the winter, well, where I live anyway. we don't get a few inches of snow at all. I think I've got a little video I can put in, but yeah, we had a few inches of snow. I went out for only a couple of hours. When I came back, all the snow had melted because the sun had come out and it was getting quite warm. So that's what I mean by we have really weird weather. So okay, yes, these are going to be jumpers that are long sleeve, but they can be worn anytime throughout the year, and they are quite stretchy. Also, my nieces are little skinny mini, like, yeah, they're tall, it's like they're getting stretched. But yeah, so that's what I've got. Hopefully, I really just want to get these done so I can give them to the girls, and yeah, just let them enjoy them, because there is a bit of sentiment behind why I'm doing the pattern that I'm doing. It's also, like, you know, a bit of a gift to my sister, because I know she adores the pattern. So yeah, it's for them. At the moment I'm on 4mm needles, and the colours I'm using is Stylecraft Special DK in grass green for the green, citron for the yellow, Jaffa for the orange, Matador for the red, Proper Purple for the purple, and the blue is a Home and Bargain John, just because that was what I had best that fit in. I didn't have any Stylecraft that were a bright turquoisey blue. And then the grey at the bottom is Paintbooks yarns in Misty Grey. So that's that. I want to get this done. I'm determined. I need to get them done soon. So that's the jumpers and the knitting. Now onto a bit of crochet. I've still got more knitting as well, but I've got more crochet. But let's get away from that. So I got the Simply Crochet magazine at the end of the year, and it came with a calendar. This calendar's been a blessing for us. I didn't really need it much in January, but since February it gets used all the time. I was only writing on it like a couple of hours ago, so it's really come in handy to have. But it came with crochet patterns for a fairy for each month, and I've been determined to do a fairy each month. February just flew by. I barely did any knitting or crochet in February, so I didn't get February's fairy done then. So I'm starting to work on it now, and hopefully I'll be caught up by the end of April, because I'm thinking my March fairy might go a bit into April. So that's what I mean, by the end of April, hopefully I'll be all caught up. But this is going to be the Blackthorn, is it? Blackthorn fairy. So she's really cute fairy. She's got like a cream dress, long like flowing brown hair, and like a little blue cardigan, like bolero style cardigan on it. I loved the stitch on the skirt, and it was the first time I'd ever done that stitch, crocheting it. I don't know whether it's coming up with the texture, but I really enjoyed doing that stitch. It was the first time I've ever done it. I did just did it until it was long enough, really. I wasn't really looking at the pattern when it came to the skirt, because I had to put the I need to put the calendar back up on the wall. So I was just, yeah, once I knew what the stitch was, I increased where I thought it should get increased, and yeah, made it as long as I thought it needed to be. So all I've got left to do is like the bolero embroidered, like a little smile on, and do her hair. So I'm not actually too bad with this one already, and it is only, let's see, the 11th of March. So I'm using a 3mm hook with that. I normally use 3mm hooks for my amigurumis because I prefer to use DK weight yarn, and this is DK weight yarn. So this is Hayfield Bonus DK in toy. I think my ring light is really blowing it out, but I have to have the ring light on because it is quite late, otherwise it'd be very dark. Yeah, so it's toy, so it's a lovely like Caucasian skin colour, a bit like mine when it's not bright red, because I'm hot. That fire, by the way, I know it looks like it's on, but it's just light. It's not actually protruding any hot air, so yeah, it may be hot, but it's, you know, that's not on technically. Yeah, and then the cream was just scrap cream that I had in my stash, really, that I used. So yeah, it didn't have a ball band on it. My next my next project that I've been working on, I really need to ball up the yarn because I've only got a little bit left. It's gone everywhere. So this is my paint pan cowl, and I am creating this as part of Judy Outwich Peace Crafts make along this year. So we get 2 prompts every month, and I've really enjoyed doing it. I'm doing 2 colour blocks each prompt, and yeah, I'm really loving it. It is a paid for pattern, and I probably could have, I've just increased the amount of stitches per round and repeated the blocks a bit, just because I found it was quite small and it was a real stretch on the needle. So I thought, you know what, I'll put a few more stitches on, it will make it a lot easier when knitting it. But yeah, I will link the pattern down in the description box like I will with all my patterns. So here's what I've got. The main colour is graphite, and I'm just using stash yarn that I can find that goes with the prompt. So the prompts are different locations around the world. So I had done the first 3 locations. So I'd done up to this orange last time you saw it. So here we go. I have added 4 colour blocks on. So the 4th location was Barcelona. I did a variegated yarn for the stained glass windows of the Sagrada Familia, I think is how you pronounce it. For everywhere I'm trying to do historical prompts because I'm a bit of a nerd like that, and I'm enjoying learning about places. Yeah, I really am enjoying trying to find, like, you know, historical things to do with it. And the next colour is green, and I actually, this is from something I found out doing a bit of research. So I visited Barcelona a couple of years ago when we were on a cruise. We did a stop there, and I remember there being a big statue of Christopher Columbus as we were going into the Ramblers. And yeah, I was wondering, you know, oh, what's that connection? So when I researched as to why it was there, because I thought, yeah, a bit of history, it might work out for a prompt, I found out that Christopher Columbus, when he did his the first journey to America, and when he discovered America, learned again loads of facts about that, which blew my mind. So I'm really enjoying doing this count and learning a load of new things. But I found when he returned, he returned to Barcelona to show the king and queen at the time, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, who were the parents of Henry VIII's first wife. Again, another bit of history. I knew that one already though, because I'm a Tudor nerd. Yeah, that's why the statue's there, because he returned to Barcelona to show them what he'd accomplished on this journey, because they were funding him. And the flag he actually sailed under was green. Mostly it was white with like green letters on and symbols with a bit of yellow on for crowns. So that's why I did the green there. Then the next prompt was Greece. So I did yellow for the main god, leader god of ancient Greece, Zeus. I did yellow for his thunderbolt, that's it. And then I did silver because they are the birthplace of the Olympics, and I don't have any gold or bronze on, but this is silver and it's sparkly. I don't know if you can tell, so that's why it's gone in there. Also, silver looks better than bronze or gold against yellow, you know, it's similar, isn't it? So yeah, that's what I've been doing for that, and I've really enjoyed taking part, and I've really enjoyed researching each place that we go to. And my next project is a new project. I have tons of projects on the go. There's some that I've gone and put to the side and gone, yeah, okay, I need to wait until I get some things off the hook, off the needles or hooks before I start on them. But then I still started this. Yeah, so this is going to be a blanket. Yeah, I know, what am I thinking? So the square is the OK Square by Atties. I'm using a 3.5mm hook on this and DK yarn, just scraps whatever colours. I'm working whatever colour I need for each square, and each square there is a reason why I've picked each colour. So the pattern, the square pattern, is free on their website, and they tell you how to join it in the round as well, like which is great, so I can join them as I go. But you can pay for a PDF download. I might end up doing that because I'm going to use this quite a lot, and it saves me having to keep scrolling through the website all the time. But yeah, so what I'm doing is I am actually doing each square, the colours are based on books I've read, so I'm going to try and read 52 books this year. I'm on books 11 and 12 because I do like to have a fiction book and a non-fiction book on the go at the same time, so I am reading a fiction and non-fiction book at the same time at the moment, so that's why I'm on 11 and 12 at the same time. But I decided I'm gonna do the squares in batches of 5. Now when I did this, when I last worked on this, I'd only read 9 books, so that's why there's only 5 and I've now read 10. So this square here is for the porcelain doll. I will try and put pictures up of the book covers that have inspired them. This one is Mortal Monarchs, a book I got for Christmas. This one is from a book called Doreen. Now, it was about a girl who got evacuated to the countryside called Doreen. My Nana Doreen got evacuated to the countryside during World War II. So that's why I picked the book up and read it, and I found it really interesting. Now, I'll put the book cover up and you're going to realise that the book cover is not yellow and grey, dark grey, it's a light grey. But the company that did this book, Persephone Books, they have really, all the books on the outside look the same, but inside on the cover, on the inside cover, they pick vintage like artwork that goes with the theme of the book or what the book's about, etc. And the on the inside it was like this bright yellow image with grey drawings of figures during World War II, so that is why there's the yellow and grey. That one was The Missing, and this one is, it's The Woven. I can't remember the last one, can't remember the last bit of the title. It was The Woven something. It was basically the history of knitting, and I received that book by Sam of Manfors Makes in a Happy Mail. I will link the Happy Mail video in the card somewhere, and I'll link everyone I've talked about in this video, so Denise, Judy and Sam. But yeah, so they're the first 5 books I read. These 2 were non-fiction, these 3 were fiction. As I said, I've read 5 more now, so I will be adding on to this soon, hopefully. And I am thinking about, like, I've got a YouTube channel where I watch bookish videos, because so that, like, when I'm commenting on it, it doesn't come up as a craft channel, and also just to keep my, stop my YouTube page, like my subscription list getting really cluttered, and things like that, just to keep it a bit organised for me. So I'm thinking about uploading some bookish videos on there. Do let me know what you think on that, whether you think it might be good or not. I understand, like, you know, just because you craft like me doesn't mean you're going to be into reading like me. I totally get that, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know, I will be waiting maybe until the end of March when I've settled into life at the moment, because it is a bit hectic life. So yeah, it will not be any time soon. Now, the final project, it was my battle project, let's put it that way. Either it was going to win or I was going to win. There was only going to end up being one winner. My stubbornness beat it, put it that way. So it is, I don't know if you can see it very well, it is the Starflake Shawl by Stephen West. So first we have like these parallelograms, then it goes into stripes, and then there's a brioche section. Here we go. So there's a brioche section, and if you don't want to do the brioche, you can do the garter. Now, let me tell you, it took me 5. This is my 5th attempt at the brioche. I've not got as far as this yet, so we are in uncharted territory here. But yeah, I kept making a mistake, and every time I was doing this brioche, and it was different mistakes every time. So for example, on one I was knitting on the right side for both colours and purling on the wrong side for both colours rather than alternating. So this side here is the right side for the green, the grey, and this side here is the right side for the colours. I was doing it like both had the same right side. And then another one was I wasn't increasing in the right places or so I ended up having to frog it back 4 times, and that I'm so thankful that I put in a safety line, and the safety line is still there. But yeah, and it's nothing to do with how the pattern's written, it's just, I've never done brioche knitting before, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle. You're working with 2 bits of yarn, you do a row in like the main colour, and then you go to the beginning of that row again, and then do it in the contrast colour. So, you know, it takes longer, it takes double the time, but I was determined. Now I know there's mistakes in this at parts, I fully accept, and I know there's mistakes in this in parts, but I don't care. It's not like, you know, noticeable where when it's done you're going to be like, wait, there's a big mistake there. It's not like that. It's not like there's a massive hole in it or something. It is just for a bit of this row here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, I started purling when I should have been knitting, and then realised and went, oh no, and then carried on doing it the right way. So it's little things like that which again you won't notice unless you look close up. But yeah, it got put into timeout. I put it in timeout and I'd be just staring at it like, and my head just wouldn't let go, and I was like, right, okay, yeah, it's in timeout, but I'm going to pick it back up again and I'm going to keep working at it, I'm going to get it. And the more I had to frog it, the more determined I was, like, the more I was like, this is not beating me, I am doing it. And yeah, eventually did it. So it was for a Cal hosted by Mandy of Mouse's Makes, but yeah, I didn't finish it in time, but I'm not gutted about not finishing it in time. I'm actually more proud that I didn't finish it, because I actually stuck it out and I can brioche knit, sort of now. Again, I still make mistakes. I'm not an expert, I am a very beginner, you know, brioche knitter, but I am brioche knitting. So yeah, I am chuffed about that. I am on cloud 9 about that. So yeah, that's what I've been working on over the last 2 weeks. Again, I said the socks that I'll show you next week. Also, I've picked up my friend's blanket again. I know, shocker. For those of you who are fairly new to the channel, I don't know what year it is, but it would have been 2019, October 2019, I started the friend's blanket. It was the same month my niece was born. She's now 3 and this blanket still isn't done. I feel like everyone has that really long term whip where they've just been working on it forever, and that's mine. But I'm determined to get it finished this year because it's nearly done. What needed doing is I needed to finish off joining all the squares and then do the border. So I've completely finished joining all the squares. I'll try and put in a picture of what it looks like on the ground. I'm not going to take one when I've joined it all because it looks just the same as when I unjoined it, you know, on a picture. And I've got about half the way round on the first row of the border, and I think I'm doing a 4-row border, so we never know. Fingers crossed by the end of March it will be done. It is a big bad boy. Like, I put it on the living room floor and it spreads out over the living room floor. I'm pretty sure it'll easily cover a double bed. It's huge. It's crochet, corner to corner graph gang, and it's about the TV show Friends, but I am fully in love with it, and I thought I needed to get it done because, one, every time I see my niece, I'm thinking, I've got a blanket that's as old as her that I've still not finished. I mean, my sister made a human quicker in what I can finish this blanket in, you know. Yeah. So, need to get it, you know, done. So every time I see my niece, you know, it reminds me. And then also, there is a Friends crochet book coming out. And literally the same day I got my first paycheck for my job, got an email off Amazon. They're like, prices just dropped on something that you've got on your list. And I'm like, don't look at it, don't look at it, don't look at it. I looked at it and it was the Friends crochet pattern book pre-order. So I've ordered it. So I was like, right, okay, I've got to get it done before this book comes, because when this book comes I'm going to want to crochet quite a few stuff in it. So yeah, long explanation for short thing. Buddy, I'm going to have to sit like that because he is just laid down on his back and spread his legs. This is supposed to be a family friendly channel, obviously. He's just put his legs down now, that's fine. That's his favourite sleeping position, is on his back, legs spread. Yeah, not very decent, is it? Not very gentlemanly. That he does look a bit of a mess because he's getting groomed on Thursday. Today's Friday, so he's in 6 days time. But also it's been raining a bit today, so he's a bit wet. Yeah. Anyway, I've rambled on for a lot. This video is probably going to be quite long and I'm going to have to add a few things in, so it's going to take a bit of time editing. So I'm going to head off. Yeah, not that I can even edit it tonight because I've got to wait for my laptop charger to come. Oh, the joys of technology. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe and taking care. Please let me know in the description box if you've got any old whips that have been, you know, hidden away for months, years, that, you know, you really need to get working on, so I don't feel as bad about the Friends one as I do. Anyway, take care, speak to you all soon and stay safe. Bye.